today the third part of this course is starting. So we are moving to the front end of our system. So what we'll be doing in this section will be a lot of JavaScript. That will be the main language for the front end, of course. So we'll dig into JavaScript. That will be today about JavaScript and jQuery, and not a lot about jQuery. You have to do that yourself, but just a few words on that. And the idea is to work with something called single page application. That means that instead of having a number of web pages, we will dynamically change the content of the page depending on what the user is doing. So instead of having a set of pages, we have one page, and then we use Ajax to get new content, and then change the layout or the rendering of the page. We do that by using the data binding, and the idea of binding a model. So we have a data model and bind that to the view. We'll be using a framework that is very good at do data binding. And then the last part will be about responsiveness. So we want to have a page that can actually be used on any device. So it should be responsive, and so it can run on and look nice on a mobile phone or a desktop computer at the same time, and also be able to be transformed into a mobile app if you want to do that. So that's the idea. We'll basically use Bootstrap. So how many of you have done HTML and JavaScript? Bootstrap. Okay, so you know, that's nice, because then I don't have to say that much. Morning. So that's the content of section 3. So the system that we have to develop in section 3 is pretty much the same as we did in section 2. If you look at the architecture of the system, so we have. So what we did in section 2 was this one here. We did the web service. So we have this layers with the data access layer and the web service layer. That's what you did in section 2. From what we can see here in section 3, it's only the web service that you create. We cannot see what's behind the web service. Of course, you know that because you did it, but the way that the front end is talking to the back end is by use of the web service you provide. Inside the front end, we want to create yet another nicely organized application. So again, we want to separate the data access. So the data access in the front end will be how to communicate with the web service. So again, the same reasons as we did in the second section. Instead